Right, so abstract class is derived basically from abstraction, one of the most basic pillars of object oriented. There are four pillars of object oriented programming. First, I call it as abstraction, then encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Right? Abstraction is nothing but hiding the complexity from the user. Now, for a very simple example of what day to day we use abstraction in our life, it has been derived from it. If you go for a textbook example, it says that if I'm driving a bike and suddenly my brake fails, right? The most basic, you can say, uh, preparation you do is to take that bike to a mechanic who can fix it, right? You're aware of what has happened, right? That means your brakes are not working. You're aware of that your brake is not working, but you are unable to fix it, or you do not have enough resources to fix that brake cable. So what you do is you either go to a mechanic or to a showroom where these things can be handled, right? So now to do so, you will be requiring some external tools to fix it, right? Those tools are being easily available to the mechanic. So he's an experienced, he knows the procedure to fix it, and the required tools are available with him. So you as an end user do not go for fixing up the bugs. What you do is you tell the user or the concerned person to do what you're going to implement it over there. Then you use these two keywords. So abstraction can be achieved by these two keywords. Just hold on a minute. Yeah, so abstraction can be achieved by these two methods, by using abstract keyword itself or by using an interface, right? We'll see interface later on, but I'll more focus on first this abstract keyword, right? So what is abstract keyword? How do we try to implement it, and how it can be achieved? That abstraction can be achieved by using the abstract keyword. So basically, the first question would be that what is an abstract keyword, right? Whenever you try to implement a class, yeah, right, you feel an ambiguity that two classes cannot be inherited by multiple inheritance at the same time, right? There was a solution regarding it, that we may go for interface is nothing but the blueprint of your class, right? So all the properties are acting same as class, rather than just the keyword interface instead of class is being added, right? So abstraction, what we call basically, is the process of hiding the implementation, whatever the complexity is there behind the code or the system or an application. We do not show the details or the entire functionality to the user, right? So if we want to go for these two, you can say, implementations, first we need to understand the basic theory behind abstraction, right? So as I said, for you can say mechanical example of your brake fail, there might be a possibility of second example is as the remote control of your TV, right? Uh, you are having a motherboard chip behind those buttons. If I change the buttons, the sequence of buttons from 0 to 9, and if I put a button 9 in the place of 1, right, the top view, right, or the front view, whatever you're getting as an interface as buttons, will be changed, but not the internal functionality. Even if I replace from 1 to 9 and 9 to 1, and if I press 9, I'll be pressing 1 internally, right? So that is the internal functionality, how a button is pressed and the television channel is being changed through infrared rays, right? These internal complexities are being hidden, right? They are being wrapped up into a class, into an entity, and is not made available to the end user. That is what abstraction is, right? So you can declare your class as an abstract, a method as an abstract, right? So whichever class you define or declare as abstract, that entire class is known as abstract class. Similar way for abstract methods also, right? So basically, after introduction of this abstract keyword, you can have a abstract methods as well as non-abstract methods, right? So it needs to be extended and its methods to be implemented, right? So whenever you create an abstract class, you call it as a concrete class, because no matter if you write some methods and variables into it, those have to be implemented. That's why those are called as concrete classes, because you cannot leave that classes unimplemented. You have to import it, you have to create an object of the class and try to implement those methods and variables declared into that class. The only exception is that it cannot be instantiated. Now, a little bit points to remember about an abstract class is that whenever you want to define a class as abstract, so explicitly you have to write in front of class as abstract class and your class name, unless and until it will be considered as a normal class, right? Then your abstract class can have abstract as well as non-abstract classes. Then your abstract class cannot be instantiated, right? It can have constructors and static methods. As you write in the normal class, you have constructors and static methods, right? So abstract class can also have, an abstract class can also have a constructor and static methods, as well as it can have final methods also, right? So apart from this, we have used final keyword, static keyword, this and super, right? So all these, whatever you try to implement these in your normal class, can be implemented in the abstract class. Okay, so these are some of the points to be noted down, and we'll see a small example of, you can say, a bike, just to implement how you can define here. Okay, I'll take a class, right? What you take as bike, right? I'll make it abstract, right? I'll take a method in it. The method will also be again an abstract method. Now, here in this scope, if you make a class as abstract, you have to implement that class, right? So normally whenever we write a method, we do not use a semicolon, right? Because this part, it has to be implemented on another class. So if I write in these terms, it will not be having a body, right? A point to note down that an abstract method will not have a body. So I'll take one more class, suppose as Honda class, which extends the bike, and I'll use that method. Now we are having two methods with same name, one as abstract method and another as non-abstract method. So I'll let you know the difference. Just will print a message so that whenever we access it, we need to know that which method is being run. Now we create main and create objects. So this is the implementation of the class. I'll save it. Right? So it cannot be instantiated, right? As I said in the points to remember for abstract class, if I'm trying to override it, right, those methods of abstract method cannot be instantiated, right? So final methods will force the subclasses not to change the body of the method. The basic scenario method is that if we try to implement the class which is hidden by the end user and the object of that implementation class is being provided by the factory method, that is the default method, right? So a factory method or a default method is a method that returns the instance of the class, right? So that cannot be changed here.